Hello, friend, and welcome back. Today we are going to be putting in another window, and I'm so excited you're here to share this process with you.
We are down at the building and we are going to be putting in a new window. And so we've gotten several that we've already put up. And so we've got this other one in the second bedroom that we're going to be putting in today. And I'm so excited to show you the progress.
So here is what we are working with today. These buildings have been boarded up for a really long time, and this used to be apartments up here. And so I'll show you kind of what they did. They inserted these lovely aluminum windows for the apartments, and so we've basically been using that for our light and airflow. As you might already know if you've been following along on this journey, we imported windows from Europe, and they actually are a German window that came from Poland, and they're very high quality. The whole process was pretty easy. We had the help of a very good friend who had imported windows before, and he was very helpful in walking us through this process. It was nerve-wracking at times, however, I would say it was well worth the whole experience because they are my dream windows, and I can't wait to replace this with one of the beautiful windows. And just to let all the light in and everything, I'm so very excited to kind of see what that looks like. Now these windows, some of the features I love about them, they're very heavy. You can tell they're very thick and substantial. They are a double paned glass, which we had the option to do a triple pane. However, where we are in the country and our weather patterns, we didn't feel it was absolutely necessary, but it is very structurally sound. They're also PVC windows, and so the color will never crack, fade, or anything with the sun and the weather elements. So they're very, very durable long term. And that was very important to me considering these are on the second story and the street front windows. We don't have easy access to those. Another feature that we love with these windows is the multi-point locking system. So they're very tamper-proof and really great for security.
So I'm going to take you into our laundry room. This doorway used to be an old damaged metal door. It leaked pretty bad. So every time it rained, the water would come in. And we're not finished here, so ignore that unsightly little gap there. We have work to do. However, we got a newer door in. I actually had this one when I bought the place. It was here. It was part of a French door set, like a patio door set. And so we put this in because we desperately needed a new door. And the funny thing about old buildings, nothing's ever square, nothing's ever standard. This door is actually shorter than standard doors. So we knew we were going to either have to get one and cut it down or custom order a door. However, funny thing is we were able to make this one work. And I don't know if I'll keep this door forever, but it's definitely a nice start. I love how the back of it is wood. So it has a nice wood. I'm going to seal it and everything. I like this lighter color, so I'm probably going to keep it the lighter color. Probably not going to have two doorknobs. When we get the deck on and everything, we'll have a bolt lock and all of the things. So, because we're actually going to build a deck. So the laundry room will be our deck slash laundry slash dog bathing area slash, herb drying center. I'll probably use this space for a lot because it's just it's going to be happy. If I could describe it in one word, it will be happy. It's very well lit. We have another one of our beautiful windows in here. Natural light to me is a huge thing. Growing up, we had an older ranch home. The ceilings were lower, and you didn't get a lot of natural light in there. And it always just felt kind of sad. So every time I'm in a place that's well lit, instantly my mood lifts. I don't know about you, but for me, it most definitely does. So I love this because I can literally come in here. I can say hello to my chickens, can kind of take a look outside. I actually really love this view in spite of the power lines. It's nice living in a quaint little town because you're in town with a lot of people. However, it's quiet, it's a slower way of living, and everyone's super friendly here. This is the door that's going to go on the laundry room. I picked this up at an antique store and fell in love with it. It actually had 2 side lights, which I will show those to you. But really quick, I love the skeleton key. We're going to keep that. That's beautiful. And obviously it won't be functional, but for a nice decorative touch, I have to keep that. But we've got side lights here that it came with. And I thought, let's repurpose these to little French doors for the linen closet in the hallway. So my goal is to kind of get one of those, I forget exactly what they're called, but they're those French bolt type locks, where it has the knob and then the locking mechanism goes all the way up the length of the door. And I thought that would be a really neat feature because they're old, they're weathered, they're beautiful, they kind of go with the aesthetic, and they came with the laundry room door. So you save money on that too, which is amazing. And I love how it looks next to this exposed brick chimney. They actually had a lot of potbelly stoves up here because this used to be the doctor's offices. So in the late 1920s, the doctor that had the drugstore downstairs built the second story and put his doctor's offices up here. And back then they used like potbelly stoves to heat the place. And so this is where the chimney would go. And it's not a working chimney anymore. The roofers, we've roofed over it since then, but it would be cool if this was serviceable again and had at the end of the hallway a little tiny heat stove. But we probably won't end up doing that. It's just a nice thought. But I love the architectural feature that this adds to the home. It just shows off the age and everything. So even though we're rebuilding the inside with new walls and flooring and everything, trying to maintain the historical character in this place is definitely a priority to me. Ew, step on it. Step on it. What? There's a spider. Where? Get him. Right there. Oh. We need like a dustpan. It is a hot one out here, guys, up on the roof. Inside, there's actually a nice, cool little breeze, but you come out here and I mean, even though it's February, this intense sunlight right now is really, I can feel myself burning. So I had to borrow Jason's hat because I'm feeling it. So I might get a little farmer's tan while I'm up here, but that's okay. Okay, so we have pretty much demoed this window out and it is disgusting. I actually was putting the tripod on the roof and I was leaning over and I got myself in this little hole with all of these dead spider shells and they were stuck to me. It was not a great moment for me. Let's be honest, it was not a great moment. However, now what we're going to do is we're going to replace this board that was here because it was rotten. And so we need a really good base for this window. And so we're going to do that, finish framing it out. I'm going to clean this while Jason went downstairs for a second. I'm going to clean this and we're going to cut a new board, place it here on the bottom for the base. And then we're just going to double check all of our measurements and everything. And then we'll start the waterproofing. And that's when things get exciting because we're prepping the opening for the new window. And yeah, but it is hot up here, guys. It's so hot. This is a messy job. It is so messy. This has been boarded up for so long. I can't even. I've had this building for, gosh, since 2012. And these windows have been boarded up the entire time. And probably before that, too, before I even had it. Because, you know, the person that had it before me didn't have it for very long, and then it was vacant for a long time. So bugs and feces of birds and all kinds of stuff have collected in these openings for decades. So now we're cleaning them out. It's so much fun. Do you see them blowing in the wind? Gross. Those were stuck to me. Didn't love it. But you can see this has seen better days. But that's why we're waterproofing and kind of rebuilding the structure. We had an engineer come out before we started building and they kind of looked at everything. So we got the go ahead. We're good with everything that we're doing. So we shouldn't find any extra issues. You can really see the height in here. And it's funny because in the camera view, it's not as tall as it is here, sitting here. It's a lot taller. But you can tell where the other one is. And see, this one sits on a roof line. So the windows are the same size, but different elevations due to the roof. And throughout the house, as you move towards the front of the building, the windows get taller and taller and taller to adjust for that roof pitch. I'm so happy you're here on this journey with me, seeing it come to life. This has been a dream for a very long time. Now we're in the master bedroom, and I want to show you the original windows that we have in here. It still has a lot of the original trim work, and I plan on trying to reuse some of this. I really value history, and even though the windows themselves I wasn't going to be able to salvage, they're damaged, they're not very energy efficient. I looked into getting them redone, however, the price versus what you would get after, it just didn't seem worth it to me. However, that being said, I plan on reusing these transom windows in the home over some of the doorways because they're actually 34 inches, which is the size of our bedroom door. So here's our bedroom door, and we have another matching door. And so we're going to try to reuse the transoms and put over the doorway. I love them though because they have the wavy glass, which you just don't see that anymore. It comes from years of aging, and it just really tells a story, and I absolutely love them. I love the trim work too, so I'm going to be reusing that.
These old double hung windows work with a pulley and weight system hidden inside each frame. So each sash has a rope that runs over the pulley and attaches to a heavy counterweight inside the wall. So when you lift the window, the weight drops down and helps hold the sash up so it doesn't just slam shut. Please don't rain, please don't rain.
Are you an impulse buyer? Because I am. Look at how cute this is. It's a little bee. How cute. We had to have it. It's pretty good. Now we need this to be level for the window. We're also putting this sill on an angle, so that way when water hits it, it rolls away from the building. So waterproofing is really important when you're dealing with blocks and wood, and when they kind of meet each other, you want the blocks to be able to breathe, but you don't want everything to be too watertight because it can create a lot of moisture issues. So there's a delicate balance on what you have to do, and so we're trying to do the best we can with what we have. Well, guys, we had to take a little bitty break because it rained. Not ideal, but we make it work. This is the hardest part of the waterproofing tape. is trying to find the clear backing.
You're really filming me.
I really am filming. Okay, it's really dark in here. However, hopefully you guys can see. We're getting ready to carry this up the stairs. Previously, we tried to carry these up the stairs just, you know, on their own, and we couldn't do it because they were too heavy. So we learned you can actually take the sashes off of the window by popping these pins, kind of like, you know, like a door hinge. So we found out how to pop these pins, and you pull them off and we take the sashes up and then the frame separately. And that was honestly the only way we were able to get these up the stairs, which if you've all seen my staircase, it's pretty rough. So thank God for that. But I'm getting ready to pop these off. We're gonna take them upstairs and get ready to place this window. Here is the staircase that we have to carry everything up every time. So all the subfloor, all of the drywall, everything goes up the staircase. So it's pretty steep because the ceiling's in here about 14 feet tall. So it's quite a hike up there, especially when you're trying to lift really heavy things. So it's not always really fun. However, taking the sashes off has made a huge difference. And we're gonna try to do the big windows ourselves. The only problem is I'm not quite sure how they are going to fit up the stairs, if they're too wide or not. And so that's something that we're gonna explore later to see if they will fit, and we will take the sashes out of those and carry them. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get a lift of some sort and put them in from the outside, but it's gonna be a challenge because we have the town power lines run kind of right next to the window. And so we have to try to figure out how to, you know, go around the power lines to lift these heavy windows up a lift and try to put them in. The whole thing seems absolutely terrifying. So especially since we imported these, it's not like we can just, you know, go get some more easily. We have to import them, have them shipped over on the boat and everything. So hopefully we will be able to get this done and it will be fine. So right now we are getting ready to pop these hinges off so we can take the sashes upstairs, we can take the frame upstairs, and ignore the mess. I have boutique stuff everywhere. You hang the windows with these little metal clips. So the clips, they have little channels here on the side. The clips kind of fit in like this, and it holds the window. And so then you screw through the holes into the wood, and this is what holds the windows in place. So it's kind of crazy. You don't have to drill through the frame, but you can. There is places to be able to do that. But we've been using these clips and it's been amazing. So what you have to do is to pop these off, you have to have the handles in. So you put it in here, and we're gonna open the window, so that unlocks the window. So you pop the hinge, the pin falls out, and the window comes out. So now that we've got the window upstairs, we need these little clips to be able to hang it. So I'm gonna grab about 10. We'll probably only use about 8, but it's always good to have a few extra just in case. Okay, I'm gonna grab one of these bad boys and let's take it up the stairs. I wanted to bring you over here really quick before we put those in because I wanted to show you the view of the sunset that we get every night. What's nice is there's no buildings that are 2-story across the way blocking our view. So we have this gorgeous view of the sky and the tree line. And of course our charming little town. I love it so much. It's very peaceful this time of night because the town kind of closes down. It's very quiet. I can't wait to live here.
E.
What?
Right. That's.
What? Is it too big?
No.
Well, what size is the window?
61.
Okay. We had a mini crisis. We thought that the window was going to be too big by the time that we kind of got everything prepared for it and just about ready to put it in. So that was a little scary. However, after doing some more measuring, I think we have about 1/4 inch of room to spare. So fingers crossed this goes well. So now we're getting ready to put the clips on the window. We usually put the clips on first and then carry the window in to put into place. So that way, once it's in the hole, we can go ahead and start securing it to the wood. So now what I'm gonna do is we have these little straps down here that they use to like carry it and stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and take these off because we won't need them. And then we're gonna put the clips on and we're gonna carry it in and put it in place.
One thing I've learned about renovating an old building is things always take a lot longer than you anticipate. So even demoing this opening took a lot longer than we anticipated. Honestly, I thought we would come in the morning, it would take a couple hours to demo, and then we'd have the window in by the afternoon and we would be home.
Here we go.
I mean, those actually just a little level in the window bays because we're not.
We're not level?
Well, I'm pretty sure the window's square, but I'm.
Okay, I'm gonna break the rules.
Level?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
Okay.
This one's pretty good.
Now do it up and down in the side.
We're gonna get all the little tape off so you can see the pretty color underneath.
It goes down, locked, it goes up. Ta-da!
Yay!
Now open it. Now see if it stays open. See how balanced it is.
So it's coming forward. And you just keep building it. Because the goal is to...
Get a nice seal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here and following along with our renovation journey. Getting this window opened back up and set into place feels like such a big step forward for this old building. It's slowly starting to feel like home, and I'm so grateful you're here watching it come to life with me. I'll see you in the next one.